So here we go. Start to bring your awareness within by just closing your eyes. Bring your attention to the way you are breathing. So on your inhales and exhales, just slow it down. We're in a world of go, go, go all the time, so let's just take our time, especially if you're doing this first thing in the morning. You're still transitioning from the wake state to the sleep state, so it's easier to keep your breath slowed down. And I have a feeling that's why they say to do yoga best in the morning, is because you're still slowed down. And the slower you breathe, the faster it will be to get into your meditative state of mind. Slow breath and just simply listening. Now when this happens, you will find that your mind will start to get chatty, and your to-do list, your agendas, the roles that you play, all of the world will go into your head and becomes really loud. So here we are practicing how to turn that noise, that loudness, that sharpness, that ping-pong effect going on in your brain with the words and the chatter. We learn how to use that and turn it into white noise. It's the same thing as the sound of the ocean. So just focusing on the sound of the ocean, allowing to all those thoughts and words and chatter just blend right into the ebb and flow as you breathe. Beginning to sync up your breath to the ebb and flow, the waves. And when you exhale, just let your bottom fall out. Just allow the exhale to be like that sigh of relief, where you're allowing everything to surrender down and let go into the ground. All the weight of the shoulders, all the weight of the world, just let it go fall down back into the ground to recycle itself out. You're setting it all aside, putting it all down, taking off your hat, and coming into that place where you can just be you, where you can just relax. Hello, Terry O'Yeri. Thank you so much for joining us. Hamad550. If you are just joining us, we're doing a little yoga and meditation on the beach in Maui. Waking up, just starting to stretch out the muscles, learning how to breathe. Now pull your pelvic wall up and the navel in towards your spine. This is your bandha, your lock, your abdominal lock. Now you can do this at all times. This will help to protect your back and also strengthen your yoga poses. You can do this while sitting, driving, walking, talking. Make your entire day an abdominal workout by pulling up and in. Now notice how your tailbone automatically tucks itself under. So let's help to lengthen your spine by elongating the back of your neck, pulling up through the crown of your head, and then relaxing your shoulders down. Just allow them to melt down and back, releasing any tension that may or may not be within the neck and shoulder area. So maybe roll the shoulders up and back just a few times, just letting go of any tension that may or may not be there. We absorb and hold on to so much stress. So let's just breathe that relaxation into them. As you know, your body responds most beautifully, optimally, when it is relaxed. Now bring your chin down towards your chest. You want to press down on the glands just very gently in the neck. This is that instant trigger for relaxation as well. Pressing down on the glands just like this calms your entire circulatory nervous system. And it's there when you need it, whenever you need an extra boost. If there's a time of day and that you need to relax instantly, just bring your chin down to your chest and lengthen through the back of your neck, up through the crown of your head, and breathe slow. Maybe even close your eyes to shut out the world around you so you can focus on what's important. Now the word yoga means to yoke, unite, and bring together So we're bringing together our mind, body, breath, attention, and focused in one direction, and everything is working, right and left brain, our body, our mind, and our breath, all as one integrated unit. So that's what yoga is. As long as you are focusing your attention and your body and your breath all in one direction, you are doing yoga. So let go of any picture in your mind of what you think yoga is, and forget everything you've ever heard or everything you've ever been told, and just allow whatever is happening to just be. Let's take one more deep breath here. Strong core, relaxed heart center. And let's move right into our cat-cow poses. So here we are, just warming up the lower back. Hello, thank you for joining us. So just move back and forth, breathing your way to it. So you want to allow your breath to lead your body. So you're moving and flexing your spine by rounding your back, and then slowly breathing, leading the way into the opposite direction, arching your spine. So here, this is how we wake up and transition from day to night, night to day. One opposite end of the spine, flexion to the other. And we allow our breath to lead us. And we're just checking in, observing without judgment how your back feels today. Because you know every day is different. And some days you feel like you're on top of the world, and other days not so much. So just allowing it to be whatever it is. Letting go of where you think you should be. And just allowing yourself to be. And working it from there. So that's finding the magic in every moment. Finding the beauty, I like to say, in every moment. Finding that little white dot in the feng shui symbol. And that's in the black, the white. That's that little white dot. So whenever you're completely covered in darkness, look for that little white dot. I call that the magic in every moment, or the beauty in every moment. So find that little dot. And the same goes for the opposite. If you're completely covered in white, in light, know that there's always going to be that little black dot in there. That keeps you balanced. That way you don't get too stuck. Because any switch in the opposite direction can lead to obsessiveness. And we've seen obsessiveness in both directions, good and bad, supposedly, if you were judging whether something was good or bad. You can see obsessive people saving the whales and the turtles, and they will go to extreme lengths because of that. Or you see it in vegans. I can say that because I used to be one. I used to judge people who were not vegan, who would eat meat and be like, oh my gosh, that's so terrible for you. But I decided not to be like that because I realized, especially through yoga and meditation, that when you become obsessive in anything, that's too much white, too much good, too much. It actually damages probably the reputation of vegans, especially if you're a crazy vegan, judging everyone around you. You're actually damaging and taking away from the whole purpose of being vegan. So I'm breathing my way back and forth. So lost in translation, the message gets lost when you're obsessive. Put it that way. Does that make sense? If you want to be heard, if you have a great message, then be non-obsessive about it and just share what you know naturally, instead of shoving it down someone's throat or forcing them to be just like you. Do what works naturally for you. So we approach life. Life is a plethora of choices. So you can pick and choose what works for you and then just leave the rest. I approach that with everything. Take what speaks to you, what works for you, and just leave the rest. All right, down dog. So now widen your fingertips far away from each other and suction cup your palms to the mat. So you want to get your thumb and your pinky as far away from each other as you possibly can, and then suction, press down and away at an angle into the mat. You're going to starfish your hands. Now flatten your palms as much as you can and turn your elbows inward towards each other. Deep rotation in the shoulder joints. Now this will alleviate that pressure in your shoulders and your wrists, especially if you're a beginner. Tuck your toes and breathe your hips back up and away. Now you're pressing your chest towards your thighs, straightening out through the shoulders. So lengthening through the shoulders. From elbow to the hip, think about it that way. Lengthening. And just letting your head hang. Now here we're going to straighten one leg, bend the other, and sit back and up into your hip as you just let your head hang. Now when you're in an inversion, that is when you are upside down like this, the artery in your neck dilates, which means it opens up, allowing more blood flow to your brain, washing away old belief systems, bringing more oxygen and energy, activating areas of your brain, and you're breathing with attention, so slowing the breath down. Keeping the mouth closed, and bringing the right and left brain to work together as one. And we love to give the brain a bath because those old belief systems, we wash them away because they can fool you into believing non-truths, and that can get us in a lot of trouble. We start to forget who we really are. Our hearts, our minds are filled with doubt and fear. So let's just wash all of that away. Give your brain a bath. So inversion as much as you can. Now if you suffer from headaches, this is the best thing for headaches. When I used to get headaches a lot, it's your spine, it's your lifeline. Always consult a physician though, before doing yoga, before doing any of these things. Make sure you get it checked out with your doctor. We are all at different levels. Come up high into the tippy toes. We're just stretching out the body, poking and prying these tissues to life. We're all different levels, all different chapters. And there's no greater teacher than your own body. So being aware of what's happening within. Now, inhale, right leg lifts up, pointing, and it's more about length than it is about height. So reach past yourself, reach past the toes, through the toes to lengthen and activate every muscle in your leg. Scissor your thighs, squeeze them together. We're only going to be here for 1/2 breath. Inhale. And exhale, low lunge. So bring the right foot outside the right hand and the back knee down to the mat. Press forward into your hip flexor and just hug your knee in. Keep your hips level and straight, so left hip level to the right as best that you can. That way you get a nice even stretch throughout the pelvic area. Does it have to be perfectly level, perfectly straight? Of course not. You just want to feel the stretch and breathe into it to relax and relieve any tension that may or may not be stuck within your joints. So we stretch out the joints to breathe into it, past the muscles, into the fascia tissue and connective tissues. Your infrastructure on the skeletal system, we breathe and strengthen the tiny little muscles by stretching them. All right, left hand stays. Coming into our twist, inhale, right arm comes up and out, bend your knee, take hold of your foot. Very gently, kick back into your grip. Be careful not to jam your bottom knee. So I'm on the outside of my leg and turn towards the side. It's one of the common mistakes that I used to make as a beginner. I'd be all on my knee, suffering in pain and thinking I was stuck in that yoga pose, and never think you're stuck in a yoga pose. If you are suffering in sharp pain and you know your body's like, warning, warning, listen to that signal and come out of the pose. There's always that beginning start of the pose. And we're never still stuck in yoga poses. We're always breathing, always moving, and always adjusting. Being aware of what's happening within. On your next out breath, release back to front. Pick up the top leg. So take your knee kneecap up off the mat, press back through your heel, and then press the mat away to step back into high plank, high push-up position. Hello, welcome for joining us. Now, in high push-up, you can hold this, bring your knees down if you need to, modify as needed, do whatever you need to do. Just stack your joints. This will help you in your planks. Bend the elbows, lower down, and hover halfway in your Chaturanga Dandasana. This is part of the flow. Really pull up the core and pull forward through the crown of your head. Now inhale, straighten the arms. Keep the thighs lifted up off the mat. If this is too much for you, you can lower the entire body down on the ground and come into low cobra. You can low cobra as many times or as often as you like in your practice. You just don't want to collapse in your lower back if you are an upward facing dog. So really activate the legs, engage the core, stretch the heart muscle away from the heels, and now activate, use your abdominals to pull your hips back up and away into your downward facing dog. Hips high, chest towards the thighs, lengthening through the shoulders. Head hangs, slight bend in the knees. Bend your knees a lot if you're working with tight hamstrings. And we'll move to the other side. Inhale, left leg, lengthen it back. Remember, it's more about length than it is about height. Reach past yourself. So this is how we get past ourselves. You just lengthen and reach past the toes to activate every muscle in the leg. Big breath, half breath inhale. Filling your lungs as much as you can with that energy. And as you exhale, you move. Left foot outside, left hand, back knee comes down, hips are level. Square towards the front as best you can as you pull the pelvic wall up. Lengthen through the crown of your head. So elongate the back of your neck. And start to breathe deep past the muscles. Maybe even hug your knee in just to keep it in. It's really windy today. If you're just joining us, I don't know if you can see the sand just making its way towards the water. It's very beautiful, calming and relaxing. It reminds us that we use our wind, the air, the breath, the inhale and the exhale, to lead the body. Basic element. It balances our water, and we use our fire to do that as well. The Agni, that heat that we are creating, that sweat, that's energy, that's what you made. You made that happen. And we use it to balance our water. Our wind, our water, our heat, all within us. It's like we're an ecosystem, an island unto ourselves, yeah? All right, now set your hands, tuck your back toes and straighten your leg, lift your leg up and press the mat away. Step the feet back, high plank position. Here we flow. Bend the elbows, lower it down, hover halfway here. You are stronger than you think. You can do this. Inhale, upward facing dog. Just lengthen it out. And exhale to use your core. Get into the habit of using your core to pull your hips back and up into your downward facing dog. Take a breath here in through the nose, slow. And out through the nose, slow. Again, inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Slowly breathing in. And exhale, now press your heels down towards the mat. Slight bend in your knees. Press your chest back towards your thighs just a little bit further now, lifting your hips up towards the sky. That way you're not sinking down into your shoulders, you're lifting up and out of them. Wellness Wednesday, oh, there's a rainbow. Inhale, right leg lifts up, high to the sky. Here we flow. Exhale, step it through, place between your feet. Back heel comes down to the mat. Inhale, upper body, arms to rise. Your warrior one. Now square the hips towards the front. Shoulders, relaxing down your back. Lift up dynamically through your fingertips and focus your eyes one spot, your ekagrata. This is your yoga, focusing your attention all in one direction. And when you are so focused on that one thing, distractions will just eclipse themselves. It's as if the whole world just disappears around you. It's just you, your mat, your practice, nobody else. Now, exalted warrior, fingertips come to touch, bend the elbows behind your head, open up your heart center, and exhale. Hands come down to the mat. Step it back, we flow it out. Bend the elbows, drop it low. Hover here, you are strong. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, remember, activate your core, use your abdominals, pull your hips. Back up and away, down dog. One breath here, one full breath. Inhale, coming up high onto your tippy toes. And exhale, draw your heels down towards the ground. They do not have to touch. Inhale, left leg lengthens long behind you, stretch past your toes. So we're getting past ourselves to activate every muscle in this leg. Exhale, warrior one, your Virabhadrasana. Back heel anchors down to the mat. Square your hips, strong foundation as you inhale. Upper body, arms to rise. Relax, shoulders down your back. Lifting up, leveling your hips as much as you can. Pull the pelvic wall up and in. Locked out nice and strong. Set your focus. And allow yourself to breathe your way from transitioning, remember, day to night, night to day. Polar opposite ends of the spectrum. So we're coming from one side to the other. And you're just breathing your way from one side to the other with total awareness. Because sometimes, if you're out of balance, which most of us are, any day could be different, you'll find that you might be tighter on this side, there might be muscles on this side, or maybe you're working with an injury on one side or the other. So whichever side that you are tighter with, just breathe a little deeper, work the breath a little bit more on that side, that's all it is. Fingertips come to touch, exalt your warrior now. Open up your heart, bend elbows behind the head, and exhale. Hands come down to the mat. Press the mat away, flow it out. Take it down, hover here. You are strong. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open it up, nice and open up your heart away from your heels. Exhale, use your core. Pull your hips back up and away into downward facing dog. One more flow. And then we're on the floor. Inhale. There's an inchworm on me. And exhale. Warrior one. Back heel down to the mat. Upper body to rise. Now we're going to open up into warrior two. You know, I hadn't seen an inchworm since I was a kid, and now they are just everywhere. They're so cute. My son got one on him, and he played with it all day until we had to retire our little inchworm. We won't talk about that. So reaching in opposite directions, opening up the hips, pull the pelvic wall up, and see if you can squeeze your heels in towards each other. Now, first timers in your warrior two, it can be a little painful, but you want to make sure that you're not putting your joint system at risk. So bring your knee out, pressing it out towards the pinky toe. And then come to a place where you can press back, lengthening your back leg, opening up your hips. So just allow your warrior to be whatever it is. Sometimes it's a little wonky. It's okay. Squeeze your heels together, lift up through the core, relax your shoulders down, and focus your eyes, reaching in opposite directions. There's lots of things happening all at the same time in your warrior. So just getting accustomed to it, just allowing yourself to grow naturally. Flip your front palm, reach forward, radiate your warrior, lift up and out, deepen your lunge here, and you want to stretch all along the rib cage, really get into the fascia here. Exhale, cartwheel both hands down to the mat. Now press the mat away to step it back. Here we flow, bend the elbows, lower it down. Inhale, lifting all the way up. And exhale, lifting the hips back up and away. Down dog, take a breath in through the nose, nice and slow. And out through the nose, nice and slow. Inhale. There you go, inchworm, you're along for the ride. Lifting the left leg, last side. Exhale, step it through, place between the hands, warrior one. Wonder how far this little inchworm is gonna go. Open up into warrior two, reaching out to the sides. Now, sometimes I sink down a little bit, so level the hips. This will help your joint system, and this will help if you're sore in the hips. And then bring your knee out towards the pinky toe. Lengthen your leg, reach in opposite directions, relax your shoulders down your back, and lift up through the crown of your head. Set your gaze, and again, go over here. Allow your breath to transition you from one side to the other. I feel like I could just fly away. The wind is so strong. If we had a sail, just use the banig. Are there any Filipinos out there? Do you know what a banig is? Can anyone tell me? I wonder if I just put it over here. Just parasail. Whew. Where do you want me to go? Alright, flip your front palm, reach forward, reverse your warrior, lengthen it out, and exhale, cartwheel both hands down to the mat. Press it back. Last flow here. Bend the elbows, lower it down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Now walk your feet in. We're just gonna lay down on our backs. Just gonna come into bridge. So bring your feet about hip width distance apart, and then just graze the fingertips right back on your heels. That's how far you want your feet to be away from your body, depending on your particular body height. So ground down through your heels and breathe your hips up, tuck your tailbone under, keep the knees about hip width distance apart, and then interlace your hands, bring the palms together, walking the shoulder blades in, and then press your arms down into the ground. So most of the pressure is down from your heels and the arms pressing down, not on your head or neck. So just breathing here, your little island, unto yourself, your ecosystem. You have everything you need. Now we come into bridge and think about the connections that we have with others. From one island to another, we make a bridge, we make a connection. And sometimes the connections are strong and sometimes they are weak. Sometimes they are beautiful bridges and sometimes they're just plain eyesores, right? So your bridge can be whatever you decide to make it. If you have a bridge with someone that needs work, then burn it down and rebuild it from the start. Don't worry about doing that. Because sometimes we get ourselves in trouble by thinking we have to be a certain way. You can be whatever it is you want to be. You can build whatever bridge you want to build. It can be as magnificent of a sand castle or it can be a bucket of sand. That's what I tell my kids. Just don't get too attached, because the sand castle will be washed away in time, with the tide. All right, lower it down. Hips come all the way down, bottoms of feet together, knees apart, Supta Baddha Konasana. Now one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and just circle your breath round and round. Keep the pelvic wall contracted, pulled up, so you're not wasting any of your energy. You're letting it escape out the bottom of you, keeping the mouth closed. And this is the part where breathe into your body. Any part of your body that needs special attention, special healing, use your breath, that heat you created, to balance your water, allowing your air, your breath to lead the way. So send your breath now into whatever spot, especially if it's a place in your body that you've ignored for a while. Just breathe into it. Allow whatever it is that might be stuck there, tension that we absorb, the world imprints and impresses on us throughout the day, maybe even a lifetime. So we're just working to release that tension, letting it go, recycle itself out. All right, come back into your bridge. Now you can either do a bridge, or if you'd like to do wheel, set up your feet just like we do bridge, hip width distance apart, and wheel. Bring hands to the ears and place the fingertips pointing towards the feet. So your hands are pointing backwards. Wrists are exposed. Elbows point straight up to the sky. Take a deep breath. Inhale, slowly pressing the ground away, lifting up, lengthening through the arms, pressing down through the heels. So we're opening up our heart center now and just breathing into it. Just letting our head relax, letting our neck relax. One more breath here. Finish your inhale. And on your next exhale, slowly start to come down, one vertebrae at a time. Supta Baddha Konasana, bottoms of feet together, knees apart. One hand on your forehead and one hand on your belly. Circle the breath round and round. Balance what's going on in your head. Yes, yoga can be difficult and the poses can be difficult, but what's more challenging is what's going on in your head. So here we balance our brain by letting go of all of our understanding and just using our hands as defibrillators. Left is the minus, right is the plus. And we balance our energy round and round, especially if you've got a lot of Agni, that fire, that heat you've created when you work out, that sweat, that heat. Use our fire to balance our water, letting our air lead the way. Basic elements, learning to heal ourselves. That way, every part of our day, walking, moving, talking, meditation. All right, let go. Hands to the back of the knees, let's rock and roll up. Coming to a comfortable seated position, facing front. One more spinal twist. And I think the inchworm flew away. All right, if you're just joining us, we're just finishing up here. Sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. Inhale. And exhale, rinsing the spine out. So if there's anything else that is left, let's just breathe it out and down. Rinsing the spine, also getting our digestive system ready for whatever we're about to eat or did eat already. Come back to center. Inhale, lifting all the way up, just to reset and lengthen the spine. And exhale, twisting to the other side, lengthening to the crown of your head, and just breathing deep and free here. Very, very gently breathing, especially whenever you're in a twist. And come back to center. Inhale, circle sweep arms, come all the way up. And exhale, fingertips just to your third eye center. So we set the intention at the end of the class, end of the practice, when you are clear. Because I've noticed that when I set the intention at the beginning, it's often different than the intention at the end. So what do you want to bring most to the world today? And what do you want most out of the world today? And what is that source driving your motivation? Whatever that may be, let's breathe life into it. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhaling out and around. Hands come right back to your heart center, right back to you. Inhale, all the way up. And exhale, right back to you. Last time. Breathing that intention up and out into the universe. And exhaling right back to where we all began. Thumbs up to third eye center. I thank you so much for joining me here on this beautiful beach in Maui for this beautiful yoga and meditation. We will see you later for sunset, or if you are part of our morning practice, we will see you tomorrow morning as well. This is Elaina, Maui Yoga Live. Aloha, mahalo, and namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Thank you so much for practicing. Feel free to share and retweet as much as you possibly can. Anyone who could benefit from a little free yoga and meditation. We are so glad that you have found this. So glad you've stumbled upon this beach. Working on the self is one of the hardest things we will ever do. Thank you to Salako for joining. So please share and follow, and we will continue to bring you free yoga and meditation classes right here from Maui. You can teleport yourself here at any time. All replays are available on Twitter and Periscope. So we will see you later. Aloha, mahalo. Ranger Rider, hello for joining. Be sure to follow, and we will see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, the inchworm, I found it. It's right here.